Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we are going to see Class 12 Biology, Chapter 2, Human Reproduction. In that we are going to see the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system is designed to produce ova, nothing but eggs. So they support fertilization and nourish the developing embryo and enable childbirth. It also secretes female sex hormones that regulate the menstrual cycle and reproduction. So according to our book, that is Class 12 NCERT Biology textbook, the major parts of the female reproductive system we are going to see now. So let's see the major parts. So the female reproductive system consists of major parts like a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, uterus, cervix, vagina, and external genitalia and mammary glands. So together all these perform important functions such as the ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, childbirth and lactation. So each organ they have a specialized role and that ensures the successful reproduction. For example, we can say during every menstrual cycle, a ovary releases one mature ovum, so which may be fertilized if a sperm is present there. Yes. So let's start with the ovaries. So the ovaries, they are nothing but the primary sex organ, the primary female sex organ. So the ovaries are the primary female reproductive organs. Each measures, how much it measures? It measures approximately 2 to 4 centimeter in length and is attached to the pelvic wall and uterus by ligaments. Each ovary is covered by a thin layer of epithelium. So inside is the ovarian stroma, which is divided into outer cortex and the inner medulla. Outer cortex and the inner medulla. So functions of the ovaries. What are the functions of the ovaries? The ovaries perform two major functions. First is the production of the sperm. So they produce a mature ova, that is a female gametes, through the process of oogenesis. And next one is the secretion of female hormones. So the ovaries secrete the steroid hormones. One is the estrogen and another is the progesterone. So these hormones, they regulate the menstrual cycle, pregnancy and development of the female secondary sexual characteristics. So generally around the 14th day of a normal menstrual cycle, one ovary releases the mature ovum during ovulation. So next we are going to see oviducts. Oviducts, fallopian tubes. Yeah, another name is fallopian tubes. So let's see the structure of the oviduct. Before entering into the structure of the oviduct, let us see the sectional view of the female reproductive system. Yes. So first one, so this is the ovary part, yeah, and this is the fallopian tube, and here this is the uterus part, and this is the cervix, and this is cervical canal, and this is the vagina. We'll see all the parts which are present in each and everything. Yes, let's start with the fallopian tube, children. So each fallopian tube is approximately 10 to 12 centimeter long. How much? 10 to 12 centimeter long, and it connects to the ovary to the uterus. Again, it has three regions. So first one is the infundibulum. Yeah, the funnel shaped end nearest the ovary. We call this part as the funnel shaped end. You can able to see the funnel shaped end. So this is the infundibulum. And then fimbriae. Fimbriae, they are nothing but the finger-like projections. These are the finger-like projections present on the infundibulum that collect the ovum immediately after ovulation. Yes. So next part is the ampulla. So the wider middle portion of the fallopian tube. It is the wider middle portion of the fallopian tube, and fertilization usually occurs here. And next one is the isthmus. So here you can able to see this the isthmus. So nothing but the narrow terminal part that joins the uterus. So let's see the functions of the oviduct. So it receives the ovum from the ovary, provides a site for fertilization, and also transports the fertilized egg, nothing but the zygote, to the uterus for implantation. If a sperm fertilizes the ovum in the ampulla, the resulting zygote travels through the isthmus into the uterus. So next, let us see the uterus, nothing but womb. Yeah. Let's see the structure of the uterus. See, the uterus is a single inverted pear-shaped muscular organ situated in the, where it is situated in the pelvic cavity. It opens into the vagina through a narrow cervix. So the cervix and vagina together form the birth canal. Yes. And layers of the uterine wall. So these are the layers of the uterine wall. The first one is the perimetrium, the outer thin membranous covering that protects the uterus. What is perimetrium? The outer thin membranous covering that protects the uterus. Next is the myometrium, the thick middle muscular layer responsible for powerful contractions during the childbirth. Yes. And next is the endometrium, the inner glandular lining is the inner glandular lining that undergoes cyclic changes. It undergoes cyclic changes during the menstrual cycle, and it becomes the site of implantation after the fertilization. So what are the functions of this uterus, children? See, it receives the fertilized egg, right? And then it supports the embryonic and the fetal development, and also contracts during the labor to deliver the baby. So during pregnancy, the embryo implants in the endometrium, yes, where it receives nourishment for the growth. So next we are going to see the external genitalia and mammary glands. So external genitalia, that is the outermost part, yeah, vulva. So the external genital organs includes, so what it includes? It includes the mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen and clitoris. So these structures protect the reproductive openings and assist in the reproduction process. Next is the mammary glands. Mammary glands, so paired breast of glandular tissue and fat. And each breast contains 15 to 20 mammary lobes. How many? 15 to 20 mammary lobes. So each lobe contains alveoli. Yes, alveoli, mammary tubules, mammary duct, ampulla, and then lactiferous duct and nipple. Yes. So functions of mammary gland. What is the function of mammary gland? It produces milk after childbirth and supply nutrients and antibodies to the newborn through the breastfeeding. So after delivery, what happens? Prolactin stimulates the alveoli to produce milk. So which is released through the nipple during suckling process. So can you able to see the alveolus, children? So this is the alveolus. From alveolus, yes, this is the mammary duct, and this is the mammary duct. Yes, this is the ampulla region. This is the lactiferous duct, and this is the nipple. Yes. So we have come to the conclusion part. Let's have a quick revision, children. Ovaries. So primary female sex organs, it produces ova and ovarian hormones. And then ovarian stroma, it is divided into cortex and medulla. Fimbriae, they collect the ovum after ovulation. Infundibulum, funnel-shaped beginning of the fallopian tube. Ampulla is a common site of fertilization. Isthmus, it connects the oviducts to the uterus. Perimetrium, outer protective layer of the uterus. Myometrium, muscular layer responsible for labor contractions. Endometrium is a site of implantation and menstrual changes. And mammary alveoli, it produces and stores milk. So we have come to the conclusion part. Watch the full video, children. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.